All right, welcome to Pick Central. Today's Friday, and it's April 3rd. Really, catch up with you, Kick. With myself, Clummer. Thursday. What did I say? Wednesday?
I think you said Friday.
Did I say Friday? I'm all over the place.
I don't know.
No, it's been a weird week. It's been a weird week.
It has been a weird week. I don't know why.
We're in that, like,
shouldn't be.
They said we got Meek here, we got Dukes back there. We're in this weird time frame where it's like, he said it's almost like Super Bowl week, like March, like the Final Four is Saturday.
Yeah.
But you've had this, like, you just got like bukkakied with games for 2 weeks straight.
Yeah.
Really 3 weeks straight, I guess, but 2. And then now you just have this crazy layoff where you got baseball, you got basketball going on, and basketball is even in this weird frame where it's like the calm before the storm.
Yeah, it is.
Like a lot, like obviously the West is still battling for seeds quite a bit, big ranging from especially like 2 to like 10, 2 to 9. But it's still like
it's also weird matchups.
like,
some teams have tanked completely.
Yeah, there's like some like you have, for example, like the Sixers, like Embiid's out for the year. They just Maxi's out for the year. Like you have those teams who are just kind of punting this last like 7, 8, 9 games.
Like some of the spreads tonight in the games are like 11, 12, 15. Like it's crazy.
Like the East is so the East where you have like Celtics get blown out last night doesn't really matter. The Cavs beat up on the Knicks without Brunson. Not that it hasn't really mattered earlier in the year. But, like, they're locked into 1. The Knicks are pretty locked into 3. What's up? It's my girl, Lisa Ann. She's the best. Shout out, Lisa. Just that weird time in, like, NBA is kind of, like, coming to baseball is, like, just starting. But massive trade. Massive trade inside the in the walls of this room in this show. Joe Milton.
That's right.
Was traded.
They got something for him.
To the Dallas Cowboys. And crazy enough, I was just saying to the Dukes before we started on Meek, that apparently there was teams that offered more and that they respected his wishes that he wanted to be a Cowboy among some of the other teams that were interested in trading for him.
I don't know if I like that.
Which I think it was like the Browns were in there, like the Giants. So, I mean, there's a few that I guess understandable.
Giants just collecting quarterbacks at this point?
I mean, that would be the one if they had done that. Then I wonder if they had done that, if that would have hindered them from signing Winston or Wilson. I mean, if they'd done that with the 3 of them, then clearly they just weren't drafting quarterback. They're just flipping their cards over. But Dukes, thoughts? Our resident Patriots fan. Leading the show off with some Joe Milton talk.
I mean, I think I kind of said it to you back here. It's one of those things where Patriots fans, I think, came to the fact that it was delusional to think that you're going to get a 3rd-round pick for Joe Milton. He had 1 game sample size. He played well in the preseason. You signed Josh Dobbs. I think that signing Josh Dobbs probably hurt Milton's value.
Oh, yeah.
So I
completely.
don't think I'm breaking news with that, but 5th-round picks fine. I think people are like, also, 5th-round picks are important. Like those 3rd, 4th, 5th-round picks, I think are way more important than like a casual fan might like realize.
Those are the team builders, like
Right.
teams that are like consistently good for long periods of time. It's you draft a guy in the 5th round, he becomes like a productive player for you.
No, Joe Milton becomes a Hall of Fame quarterback and you strike out with your 5th-round pick.
Yeah.
Like, but what's the chances of that fucking happening?
Sure, and I mean,
That's also Drake May. Like Drake May
That's the
solidified.
best,
Like, it wasn't like there was no
I
question
mean,
marks behind Drake May.
No, he's
after
not
last
obviously
year.
not going anywhere.
It also wasn't like a Mac Jones like had a good rookie year, but Drake May has intangibles that you can't teach. Like he's fast as shit, has a rocket arm. Mac Jones just really like played really well in like a system and wasn't asked to do that much.
Right.
There's like a lot you could build on after that. Like there's no like question marks with Drake May right now.
If you're the GM, who you drafting for?
Best player available.
Not if it's a quarterback, though, obviously.
No. Of
So
course.
best non-quarterback available.
Yeah, but I don't even think that in this draft that it would be a quarterback.
I think you're right.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I think Abdul Carter and Travis Hunter are off the board at this point. So I think.
Well, the reason I asked the question was I was seeing some buzz that they love Will Campbell. They're apparently like I was seeing some McShay buzz and some other people say things like that. And there is a world where one of those guys is available. I actually think it's like decently likely.
If Abdul Carter came down and we didn't take him, I'd be pissed.
How about with Travis Hunter? Same.
Travis Hunter's really, really unique.
He fits a need though. Like you guys need like a receiver would make a lot of sense.
Yeah,
because
like,
you spent
like
the
20 snaps a game and like having him as like a corner, like I don't know.
And I mean Gonzalez and him is. I mean I know you signed Carlton Davis too.
Right.
That's why I think Campbell. I think maybe even getting more buzz to them because they spent so much money on defense.
Or even using
where it's
him
like
as,
let's use a big asset on a. Yeah, I mean the two like big things you need for a young quarterback: receiver or a tackle.
Right. Like personally with Travis Hunter, I'd like him as a receiver and play like nickel. But I don't know, like, obviously there's going to be some football nerd out there that, like, well, he can't actually play nickel. He's better at man. Like, I don't know. But, like, that scenario intrigues me.
Well, that was the Jay Gruden thing where he was like, fuck it, I'll play him receiver. Like, he was like, it's very easy to be like, hey, just go play man.
Yeah,
like, literally
yeah.
just go lock up this guy right here for this play.
I actually liked him as a receiver at Colorado better anyways.
His catch radius is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, when you watch, like, some of the, because he's not, like, a huge guy. He's, like, 6'1", like 185, 190 pounds, so kind of, like, skinny. But, I mean, some of the catches he makes catches like he's 6'5".
And with Josh McDaniels, like, in his creativity and what he can do, like, using him in different areas, I think is, like, very intriguing. But, obviously, all of this is just hearsay if he's not available.
They just need it.
Will Campbell is my choice for offensive tackle at this point. Like, fuck the arm length thing. Like, people
I'm not. It also, it's so funny with these things around the combine stuff where, like, his arm length was significantly longer from combine to LSU Pro Day, which is bizarre how they do that. I know they've always done it with hands too. They have weird, like, hand exercises they do that makes hands grow, like, significantly for the measurements. It's kind of fascinating how much teams look at the tackle thing. I guess the arm length thing, I get it. I don't know. I think he just has it all. Like, he has the mentality too.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm a fan.
I mean, like, even when you see film, like, he was going up against that athletic freak on Texas A&M.
Scourton.
Yeah, and it's like the arm length wasn't affected there.
No.
You wouldn't be able to tell who the more dominant athlete was that night.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it hasn't. I mean, he's been blocking some of the best, like, all the edge rushers that are going to get drafted in the first, like, 2 rounds. Not all of them, I should say, but, like, a lot of these top SEC ones, like, he's played against almost all of them.
Yeah,
and has done very well.
Do you think that Dak? Do you think there's any possibility that? I know there was, like, some chatter maybe a month ago in that lull between the Super Bowl and conference tournament play that Dak was the Browns were looking at Dak.
There was I remember there was talk about it. Like, there was just kind of like rumor mill talk about it. It was something I never paid, like, super great attention to because I kind of was just like, there's no way they could.
You think Dak gets dacked?
Imagine about Joe Milton.
I don't think so. I mean,
this is the guy that was so much money too.
He also was very good 2 years ago. Like,
No, but yeah, Tony Romo was still really good at this time.
He was. You're not wrong. I don't think it's going to happen, but
I agree with what
Romo
you're saying.
was good when it happened. That's true.
I agree with what you're saying, Clemmer.
they just getting that extension. This doesn't make sense.
I'm rooting for it.
Oh, it's fine.
It would be fun. If Millen just cucked him, that would
not
be
yet.
hilarious.
Now maybe this happens down the road, but this doesn't happen like this year.
Like, even like as a page, like, I'm just trying to use an example that I know. Like, even if Brady got Brady'd by Matt Castle, like, I'm like, oh, that's kind of funny. Like, I like seeing, like, who's the Yankee second baseman, Wally Pipp. I like seeing Wally.
Well, as
Pipp.
a first baseman.
Yeah, sorry. I like seeing Wally Pipp. Sorry, I was just trying to use Wally Pipp. If I like seeing Wally Pipps get Wally Pipped, like, that's a funny scenario. Like, if it happened to
seeing the Pip get pipped?
Yeah, it's like the reincarnation. Like, if it happened to Dak, I think that's a funny scenario.
Honestly, if they put Dak on the trade market, I think the Giants would have been, like, begging. They're not going to make a trade in the division, but that would have been.
He'd be tough to trade with this cap number, though.
Guys would give multiple first rounders for Dak Prescott.
Think so?
Now. Numerous teams, absolutely.
Multiple first rounders?
Absolutely, because you got to think about like a situation like the Giants were in this year, or like even like the Raiders, the Browns. Like, I know the Browns with the money thing, it might have been tough.
When is this from? Like, what? All right, well, this is
see that
account.
NFL Rums.
This was the 26th.
Of when?
Who is this
March?
account? No, like, how many follow? Like,
Or Bruce Dennen?
I've never heard of this account, and I don't know who Bruce Dennen is. Could just be me.
Let's see who Bruce Dennen. This is one of those. This is like almost like peak like NBA offseason talk, like in the NFL.
Oh shit, Bruce Dennen?
He's in a suit. I see a guy.
Bruce Dennen, American sportscaster, based in Cleveland.
74.
Yeah. All right.
That'd be what a splash that would be.
Bruce Dennen show. This is on the internet.
Honestly,
followed by Ohio State, Gab, probably Sir Yacht.
All time like fan fiction sports thing. They trade Dak Prescott to the Browns.
Oh, wait, he's listening to Clemmer. Bruce has finally returned to the internet. He is not backing down from the rumor he heard regarding Dak Prescott to the Browns.
For number 33 and Greg Newsome, that's it? There's no chance that would be it. Well, my fan fiction was going to be.
That was 4 minutes ago, huh? If this
He's
happens,
listening to you.
He's on. The Bruce Dennen show is currently on. Stay with us. Don't go to the Bruce Dennen show.
if this happens,
watching.
If this happens, I got to give Bruce Dennen a lot of credit.
We're going to follow the Bruce Dennen show.
I think we should. I think
Follow the bonus time with Bruce Dennen.
Can we get
Notifications on.
Can we get all kidding aside? Could we get Bruce on next week? I would love to get Bruce on the show and we could talk about this next week. Is that crazy?
Yeah, let's get Bruce on for.
I just want to talk to him about this because this seems like an insane thing to say. No. I'd love
unless his sources are telling him otherwise.
Well, I want to question those sources. I want to have the conversation with Bruce.
Well, because it said 33 in Newsom. Obviously, Newsom's good corner.
Do you think you could call into the show? Should we call into the Bruce Dennen show?
No, he should come on our show because I think right.
Yeah.
Have him come on our show because I mean, and we won't be rude. I just have questions to ask.
Because my fan fiction was gonna be, imagine a world where the Cowboys and the Browns make this trade. Maybe part of the trade I'm spitballing is the Browns have 2, they have 12. They swap maybe as part of it, and all of a sudden Shedeur Sanders is the new franchise quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
So then I just saw
that was my football fan
So
fiction.
Joe Milton still loses in your fan fiction.
Yeah, I guess so. He's the backup.
Milton still gets fucked.
But I think yeah, I guess. Honestly, the fact that Joe Milton's on a roster, he's not fucked.
Ev is on to something, but part 3 would be Dion becomes Cowboys head coach next season.
Oh no,
Well, that's the next
Ron
step.
Schottenheimer
That was my next. You didn't let me write the next chapter. That was that was the next chapter.
That was on me.
Was always Shedeur. He plays his rookie year out. Things go okay, but we're like, you know who he played his best under? Legendary Hall of Fame player Deion Sanders, his father.
I love that Brian Schottenheimer becomes Lee Harvey Oswald in this scenario.
Yeah.
So,
one year he just gets booted out.
he's booted out.
Also, Schottenheimer was. Listen, there's been some dull coaching hires. That might have been the dullest I've ever seen.
Oh
Ev,
yeah,
you might be onto something.
So dull.
Let me cook right now. That's what I'm saying. That's part of it. The Browns could use a quarterback. The Browns don't like Shedeur. Dallas say we like Shedeur. We don't like Dak that much. We wouldn't mind getting off this contract.
What's this guy's name again? Bruce what?
Bruce Dennen.
Bruce Dennen has set the internet on fire with this.
There's other people. We got
Well,
guys all over the
it
place.
could all stem from Bruce though.
It might. It definitely might.
It could have.
That would be a blockbuster, though.
Oh,
That'd be one of the craziest trades, probably in the NFL in recent memory. Like a franchise quarterback in his prime just getting traded.
Well, do you think that what's the
Arguably,
Cowboys did the opposite. The Cowboys did actually exactly that back in the day. That's how they became good in the 90s.
What you're saying with Herschel?
Herschel Walker deal.
I guess, yeah, but not an active player though.
What do you mean, Herschel Walker?
Or excuse me, not how old was Herschel Walker when they did that?
He was very good. He was at a prime, and they got a shitload back for him. And
I got my wires crossed. I was mixing up that and the Ricky Williams trade.
And because that's how they were able to draft all of these. That's how they built their team in the 90s. Was Jimmy Johnson was a genius. So maybe they're doing it again.
They just get Shedeur Sanders and some players.
Did you guys also hear? I'm to open up the show with this. Sorry, I got sidetracked by Bruce Dennen.
Who hasn't?
Who among us?
Yeah, we've all been victims of Dennen.
Have you guys listened to the Unnamed show?
I listened to a little bit. Is this about our guy in the room with you?
Oh please!
What the fuck are you talking about?
Meek Phil. I've said if I'm redrafting this company a lot of times, Meek Phil is a top draft pick of mine. Top.
Yeah, he's great.
Meek thoughts.
Yeah.
Love hearing good stuff from the boss. Means a lot.
I was just
He
saying.
said that before.
I said to Clement right before we started. I think Dave becoming the number one Meek guy is one of my favorite things that's unfolded this company recently.
He wasn't listening to himself. He clearly got tagged into something. But when Meek, he was on full volume listening to Meek Phil. If I had the number one draft pick, and you could, he scrolled out of it I just caught him with porn.
Similar reflex for Meek, I'm sure.
Yeah. He didn't want me to hear him listening to.
Meek,
I was what was that?
I feel like Dave is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, Meek freak in the
He's
company.
up there.
Right?
He might be at the top due to just his power. I think that might put him at number. He's literally number one.
Good for you, Meek, huh?
It's a great day.
Oh wow, it's a great
Great
day.
day. It's a
Great day.
Maybe they if the Miami office ever starts back, Meek first draft pick.
Yeah. Do you remember that? That was a crazy time period.
Miami?
Yeah.
No, that's why I got hired. I was supposed to go with Dave.
You would be so funny in Miami. Would you be a Marlins fan?
I'd go to Marlins games. That's tough to be a Marlins fan. That
You go
stadium's
so
awesome.
cheap. You can sit behind the home plate for like
Yeah,
$50.
like
Maybe I just go and like, root against them every game.
Is it an indoor stadium?
It's both retractable roof, but most of the time it's closed.
I hate that.
But I've been there both times. When it's open, it's beautiful though. It is one of the best stadiums in baseball when it's open. When it's closed, it's kind of dark and kind of shitty. Not shitty, but. It's open. It's amazing though. It's gorgeous, and you see the Miami skyline when you're walking around. It's great. So it's a very nice stadium.
The Miami office saga was tough. When they did that whole prank thing about filling out the form if you want to go, I got tipped off that it was fake, so I didn't get to
Oh, I didn't even know this happened.
I would have been one of the first guys that would have been like, Miami, out of here.
Oh, you would have wanted to go.
Absolutely.
Might have been me, you, and Jeff Nadeau in Miami.
Absolutely. And I think me and David Guerrero, I think he would have taken me if I wanted to. If it was a real thing, I would have in a heartbeat. Florida, easy.
Yeah.
I'm a big warm weather guy.
I love warm weather. I like it. It's very humid there.
For a heavy guy like myself, the heat doesn't bother me as much as I think
Really?
most big guys. Not
So humid though.
I'm fine with it. Does not. I'll gladly just. I'm also obviously I'm a sweater, but for a big guy, not a big sweater.
Right. Yeah.
size.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would have been to Florida in a heartbeat.
I would have been excited to go, and then I got here in New York, and I'm like, I ended up kind of really like being here.
But I'm just from.
I remember
here,
like
so
that.
I love it here.
That me too. I was born here, and I grew half my childhood here. And then I think I got hired in July. I remember that December. I texted Dave. I'm like, if Miami's not gonna happen, I just stay here. And he's like, yeah, absolutely. I said, all right.
There we go.
Yeah.
I would say before we'll talk some baseball, we'll talk some NBA, we'll talk a little college basketball. We got to get some Rico Busco updates.
He's ecstatic.
Our baby boy's almost there.
He's so happy.
He's almost there.
I was looking for Busco updates. Did anyone see Dana's tweet?
No.
So he's on a plane. I think he's going to his bachelor party.
Yeah, that's where Marty
It's
is.
one of the craziest plane etiquette stories I've ever seen. And I know this is a sports show, so pardon me, but I was looking for Busco updates, and I wanted to share. This is. I genuinely cannot believe the interaction I just had. Some lady was walking down the airplane aisle and pointed to the woman next to me in the middle seat and said she could not be seated next to two bigger people, and then laughed like we were friends or something. I'm not even that big. The other guy isn't either, and you're also a fucking stranger, so shut up. That is one of the craziest things that
He has
I've ever...
people in the wild just calling him fat.
Yeah.
Basically, that's shitty.
That don't know him.
I don't know him.
I think there's a realm, because obviously, listen, fat is scaled, obviously. I think there's a level of Dana where you're not really fat, but you're just a little just a little doughy, I'll call it.
Yeah.
And people almost be more comfortable to call you fat as a stranger than someone like me who obviously is just really fat. So they won't just be you're fat. But someone like Dana where you're just a little doughy, they'll be almost more comfortable to call you fat because you're actually not that fat, if that makes sense.
But even just on the airplane.
No,
just
that's
one of those-
crazy move. Crazy move.
If you're in public, if you're fucking
You can't. No one should behave like that. That's so rude.
That's an insane behavior.
If you're the
Horrible.
fattest, if you are between the two fattest people, this is my 600-pound life and shit, and they're sitting in between you, you still don't fucking say anything.
No.
That's crazy.
No.
What a wild
And also, you're also if you're that person in the middle, that puts them in an awkward spot because they're oh, they're not that fat. What do you say there?
Yeah. And that's the understanding that I got. Is woman in the middle didn't know her either.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Crazy.
Want to hear something crazy about? So I quit. I really dialed back from drinking in January. I've had 5 drinks since middle of January, and I've been gaining weight because of it. I think because my stomach's been more settled. I've been having less horrible poops and stuff. I am 2 pounds away from being what BMI considers to be a normal weight for my height.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? My weird scrawny frame is considered to be what you should be. That's nuts.
Now I'm thinking about the exact opposite of you on a plane, and someone's
People, I'm the best thing to sit next to in a plane.
So I was please sit next to me.
You probably get taken advantage of.
Probably do.
Bullied for the middle
Yeah.
seat.
No, but I just think that's nuts that BMI considers me to be the normal, basically. I'm this weird scrawny freak.
Well, I think it's thrown off in the sense of I actually saw a clip where I think they were talking about with Mike Kadich. They were asking him obviously offensive lineman.
Yeah, right.
Are you fat? Because he's strong fat. There's there's levels to
correct.
Me and Willie calling joke with each other. He's you're fat for no reason. I'm fat because I was I used my I was you're also 6'4".
Yeah.
And just a monster. But I think there's like a.
I bet like Mike Haddock. I remember Michael Jordan was going to be obese. I think.
Well, the comment that I think Eddie said or somebody said it was like they would consider like LeBron James like obese.
Correct.
It's like he's like 250 pounds or whatever he is, but he's 6'8" and he's
Right.
Yeah, BMI
shredded.
is a little backwards.
Yeah, like
I also think, like-
there's levels. Like people carry frames incredibly differently.
I think like athletes are different. Like I think that's the exception to the rule. I think like for a normal person walking around, I guess doctors want people to be like very skinny. I guess.
Well, most people that are like 6'8", if you're 250, usually probably be like a little.
You're probably not an athlete.
You're wearing
Yeah,
that as
you're
like a
not stacked with
little
muscle.
chubby, yeah,
Yes.
instead of just being like shred, just like
Correct.
muscle bound.
I think that's the exception, not the rule. But
Yeah,
I was just
sure.
I've never been a normal, what considered to be a normal weight my entire life. When I was a little boy, I was always very skinny, very skinny, very skinny. So like I'm kind of excited to be a normal weight, to be considered to be a normal weight.
There's an update.
Oh, I saw.
Oh, all right,
I
here we
saw
go.
this. I saw this.
I have not seen.
Jackie Tables.
Jackie
Is
first
Tables-
class.
Jackie first class.
Oh, look at him! Look how happy he is.
Enjoying his luxurious,
That smile.
luxurious seat on the way to San Antonio.
You know, I gotta say though, he's not as happy as Rico was. You see Rico on Unnamed? He was elated.
Well, because Jackie doesn't care about going to like the pumps party or like, he likes sports, but like he's not like.
I was texting Bosco last. I mean, I'm glad he survived the storm.
I know.
Also, do you guys see
Alex Stein attacked
That's
him.
what I was gonna say. The
Stein.
Alex, I'm like dying to see this footage.
So it's out, part of it.
Oh, is it? I need to. Did you read the Habit Clemmer?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
In Dallas, the fucking guy that stormed it.
By the way, Alex Stein is the worst.
I didn't really know about him until the thing happened here.
And I'm not talking about politically. I'm talking about just him.
I mean, he came in here with that fucking smelly ass.
That guy who
I think he was a real homeless guy who he paid to like do that.
there's all sorts of
He smelled like shit. I saw Dave talking about where he's like he thought he was an actor. I think he was acting,
He
but
like pushed the door.
he smelled
Could
disgusting.
have really hurt Ebony.
Smelled-
Like such a weirdo.
yeah, no, they suck.
Guy is the worst.
Rico, Alex Stein.
Oh.
Okay, I brought a bottle of champagne, and they just confiscated. Are you the guy who swung Yes, but I'm coming.
Oh.
I'm sure Rico just walked. I bet he just like walked.
Rico said he
away.
went and tried to get security back. Like,
Yeah, I'm sure he just like left.
Rico,
Yeah.
I mean,
What a weirdo!
If
Like
you're
waiting
ever-
for him at the
Weirdo.
bus station.
if you're ever gonna throw
in
a high,
Dallas,
if you're ever gonna throw a high noon can while on the job and get away with it, that was the time.
Oh yeah.
should have charged him like you did me.
Rico did the right thing. I think Rico was like, "Fuck this guy. This guy is." Because if you provoke him, it's worse.
Yeah, it's true.
We saw it out here. Like he could have got people hurt out here.
I'm not gonna lie. I felt like weird just even pulling that video up. I felt like I was just doing something bad.
Yeah, that guy does.
I mean, they talked about it on names a little bit, so I think it's fine. But like, I don't know.
I guess
That guy
see when
sucks.
Yeah, we'll see when the full video comes out, I guess. But yeah, our guy Bosco, he's almost there. He's
He's
about to be there.
About to be there. Yeah.
With plenty of time. He's gonna get time to shower. He's gonna get to iron his clothes, get his credentials.
That shower is
his
going to be
tickets.
intense. He hasn't showered in 50 some
In
hours.
2 days.
He must smell so
And just
bad.
and just buses. Brutal. But he's here though. He's here. And this is what.
Good for and
This
honestly,
is the pot of gold, the end of the rainbow.
I'm proud of Bosco. He had a good attitude the entire time. He put out a ton of really funny, good content. I think this is the best Bosco we've seen.
I would say so too. The way he's handled it, but he weirdly handled it better last year than I thought he would too.
Yes.
Because you remember last year, the bus ride was not nearly as long as this
Right.
one. He had to go to Chicago. But he also had to be a butler for the stream.
Oh, that's right.
He literally was bringing them drinks in a little fucking, like, tux.
That's right.
So he handled that much better than I thought.
He did.
Bosco is interesting the way, his brain works. Where, because you'd think of for a lot of people, that'd be the thing you have the biggest problem with.
Right.
And he handled that no problem. But then, obviously, little things.
Like Meek.
He's
when
just asking him, why aren't you on the bus?
Why for bus? But I said I think Bosco should be very pleased with how he's done this past.
He's here now. I mean, it's not like
Good for him, man.
It's not like once he's there, he's sleeping outside. Like he's a nice hotel
He's
room.
got a flight back. Like
he's flying back.
I hope he has a great time. I hope he has a blast because he's earned it.
I hope you get so many numbers from assistant coaches and managers tonight.
Me too.
Yeah, hey, you never know. I hope he gets a big whale tonight.
There's a couple. Going back to I was just looking up on DraftKings right now, just for the sports. There's a couple. There's a lot of props out for the Final Four.
What do we got? Yeah, let's
Let's
go
look
through
at some of them.
So I found this yesterday. Let me pull it up.
Got the no sweat home run parlay too for. No sweat home run pick every day for baseball too, which is great.
Oh, also, Ev, did you see that Michi Johnson went back to South Carolina?
Yeah, I was talking to Sniper. Sniper's South Carolina guy. Honestly, fuck Michi Johnson. I don't know exactly what happened. That was the weirdest fucking thing ever. This guy from Columbia does. It was a kid who he went to Ohio State. Was like good at Ohio State.
Okay.
He actually, I believe, if I remember correctly, he skipped his senior year of high school and came to Ohio State like early, like a full year early, I believe, and actually played like pretty well. Then he went to South Carolina for 1 year or 2 years. You go for 2? I was like 2. Came back to Ohio, like transferred back to Ohio State. Then just basically he played, I think, maybe the first couple games, and then just was like fuck off and just sat out the rest of the year.
Oh.
I'm assuming took his money, just sat out, and now he's just going back to South Carolina.
No, he's going back to South Carolina.
Yes, going back. He literally went Ohio State, South Carolina, Ohio State, South Carolina.
Jesus. All right.
What an asshole. And I was a huge Michi guy at one point, but fuck Michi.
So this is one of Rico's favorite websites. They have Houston and Duke, which, I mean, I know we've talked about the game a lot. I'm just so goddamn excited for it. But we have Madness props. Will there be 2+ buzzer beaters in the tournaments, plus 900?
So we already have, was already kind of the one we've had?
For there be a buzzer beater.
So it's basically saying, are we going to get
these 3 games?
Yeah. That's it.
It's not something I'm gonna bet.
No,
I just don't.
that either.
I just don't think you're ever gonna get the true. Like, think about the odds of a buzzer beater are so fucking slim.
I know.
If you really break it down.
I guess on the
Like,
flip side, you are getting more evenly matched teams. I guess if you want to play devil's
And
advocate.
spread wise.
But the spreads. But even Duke is Duke's a 5-point favorite. If it's Duke, I think it's Duke Auburn. They'd be like a 6.5-point favorite. Like they still
I doubled
decent.
back down on Duke. I mean, on Houston.
Oh, okay.
I might take Houston with the points. I'm not sure.
I have doubled back down.
I love it. I respect it.
I took the money line too.
I also am just in the
I took
spot
the
where
under.
I need, if Houston wins it all, I win our bracket pool.
Same. I
So
win.
that'd be nice.
Do you really?
I
Yeah,
get
if
the biggest
Houston
payday.
wins, I'll win it all.
I get like the biggest payday.
I'm like the only person in the top 30 that took Houston. And you get a ton of points for winning the championship. And that obviously would mean they won 2 games. And most people put Duke, so they'd be losing out on the 2 biggest
Right.
chunk of points.
That's true.
And I'd be getting both in
true.
theory. Devlin actually is an insane
Highest
bracket.
scoring
He is
team.
Auburn.
Yeah, Devlin's doing really well.
He is Auburn, so he pretty much needs Auburn to win. I think Dana is Florida.
Devlin.
I think Dana Beers, I think, is Florida, so I think if they won, he would be in a good spot. I think it's a random would win if Duke wins. There's someone.
I can't win. I think I'd finish. If Duke wins, I think I'd finish in second.
That's basically
Frustrating.
why I didn't pick
course.
Duke, because I was like, you have to have a perfect other bracket to win.
Yeah.
I knew because actually a year that I won it, I did a similar thing. It was the year that Kentucky was undefeated, and that Wisconsin made the run, and I picked Duke, and the 2015. And I won it because I was the only guy that picked Duke, and everyone was picking Kentucky.
If Tennessee had won and Duke won the title, I would have won the bracket at last.
Goes.
That's how it goes. That's how it goes, Dukes.
Honestly, the player props, I think I'm just gonna keep doing Walter Clayton to score 20 plus.
Yes, they have those.
I've done it the last. He's just so clutch. He'll have 2 points in the first 10 minutes. It doesn't even matter. He'll just go get you 15 in the second half.
Oh wow.
Is it 20? Yeah. What's the line on 20 plus? Yeah, it's kind of high. I'll probably do 22 if that's, or if his normal one if it's 20 and a half. But yeah, Walter Clayton, I think I'm going to be on. I was going back when I was starting to really start to do my deep dive, really who I'm going to bet on Saturday. And they only played once, Florida and Auburn. Florida beat them at Auburn, and they defended Johnny Broome pretty well. Didn't have a great shooting day. They shot okay from 3. Florida did nothing crazy. I don't know. The more I look into it, I think I'm going to be on Florida. And I think I'm going to take Houston with the points, even though it's just so scary. That's a hold your nose kind of play.
Which one?
Houston. Duke's just a buzzsaw. They're just a buzzsaw. I think I've said if anyone can do it, I think it's Houston. But
Yeah.
it's scary. They're just Duke's incredibly good, and they're just so much bigger physically.
So is Houston.
What?
Houston's physicality, I think, can bother them.
Sure.
And I do think if it's a close game, I think it favors Houston. I mean, I also think that JoJo Tugler and his wingspan, and he did win National Defensive Player of the Year. I said Monday he should. He did. I think that if they match him up with Cooper Flagg, it could present real problems. To that
I think that's where they're going to have to. I think the Flags, and then probably, what do you think? Probably Roberts on Malawak, or who do you think they put on Malawak?
They might.
Because Roberts is a big, physically he's big. Obviously not as nearly as tall, but that's the fear. It's like that. You're right. They are like they're more physical than Duke, but Duke's lineup is just so big.
For sure, I do think that the wingspan thing is very slight. Like I mean,
I know
like,
I do too. I agree with you.
If you're 6'8", you usually have a 6'8" wingspan.
Sure.
When you're 6'8" and you have a 7'6" wingspan, it's like holy shit.
I agree. It's definitely it changes things. It doesn't make the like 7'2" to like 6'8" like completely like the way it seems on paper.
Yeah,
You definitely hang more. Rebounds.
I don't know. It should be interesting to see who guards like what the matchups are, but obviously Houston does double a lot. They like to trap you after those screens. Should be very interesting.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how devastated are you going to be if Houston loses, or when Houston loses? I probably should say.
What if they don't cover the spread?
5.
Okay, all right.
I mean, Duke's an all-time good team.
Yeah.
Like they also, if Duke loses, they'll never get the credit for how good they were. Gonzaga 2020, 2021, I think was all-time good. We'll never get the credit that they deserve for being.
That's how it
good.
works.
That one's tough because they got blown out. Getting that was the Duke. You're right. If they lose, they won't get the credit they deserve. But if losing a close game on either side, I think.
Gotta win though.
Like
Look at the Indians in the '90s. They were an awesome team, but they never won. That's tough. You don't win.
But these are.
I do like Milos Uzan, 13+ points. I don't really like Cryer's point prop in this one. I like Uzan or Sharp.
I like that. Get the shooters going.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like, Uzan has a very good tempo and like really controls. Like I do think like if Houston can get the tempo going in their direction, you kind of cut back on these Duke possessions and you play good defense. You get rebounds. Like I don't know. It seems like when Duke has played against more physical teams, they've had the most trouble.
for sure.
Like and that like they haven't had like Arizona was really good. Like they're a good team. Like but nobody Duke has played is even close to this.
There is no one that can match Houston's physicality. You'll never see anyone like that.
Like Houston's
Houston's the only
physical
team that
teams.
brings that type of
Like Tennessee is a more physical team and like very good defensively, and Houston
bullied them. Yeah, it's the one I'm most fascinated. It's probably the game I'm most fascinated for the entire tournament that we've had. Obviously, it's easy to say it's in my opinion the two best teams, but just I wonder because there's so many things like I think Duke's. You said this yesterday before, where like having the full week to prepare. I wonder if Duke says, "Hey, like they both obviously play slow. Houston plays like the slowest. I wonder if Duke maybe says, "Hey, like playing slow more plays into them. Like maybe we want to run a little bit. Like just could make them like not be able to play this slow, rock fight, drawn out kind of game because they are so efficient too. Houston's super efficient, and they don't get respect for that.
I mean, yeah, I really think the X factor is if Duke swallows up more defensive rebounds and doesn't give Houston second chances.
They have to.
Yeah.
But they can though. They
Yeah,
do
of
have the
course.
guys. Who are you? You said you like Auburn, right, Dukes?
I do like Auburn a lot, actually.
Give me your.
There was a part of me that like my devil's advocate to being like why I think Duke. I think that it's always felt like to me this year that it's just going to be Auburn Duke in the championship. With Auburn, I think they got the experience. I mean, obviously we know their age. I think they have you're playing them again. You know what they can bring to the table. I think the first time they played, they were like 11-point favorites or something.
Duke was.
Sorry, Auburn.
Auburn's 11-point favorites over Duke?
Over Florida.
I'm sorry, Florida over Florida.
No, but I mean, I like their guard play. I mean, it's not like Elijah Martin or Will Richardson lighting it up. Walter Clayton is like the guy. Janai Broome kind of scares me with how injured he might be. But I think if I'm considering all things equal and that he's healthy, I do like this matchup for Auburn. I mean, it's only a 2.5-point spread. Obviously, it's going to be like a crazy good game. I think this one might be the closer, like the better game.
I think so too. I mean, the fact they played each other already. Florida's also
SEC rivals.
Yeah, Florida's been in a couple of classes already. Florida's so weird because they were on such a dominant run, like leading into the SEC tournament and through the SEC tournament, run through the whole thing, win it pretty easily. And then they've had these like weird close games, obviously Texas Tech, UConn, but they win. They pull them out. I think I'm too attached to this Florida team to jump off the bandwagon now. I would say we'll do a little.
I was gonna say yeah, but you got a starting pitcher going tonight. It's pretty exciting for the Yankees. Carlos Carrasco.
Yeah, I love it.
You really?
Yeah, absolutely.
He had a nice 6 ERA the last 2 years.
He hasn't pitched much.
Yeah, well, he's pitched a lot. He's pitched over 200, almost 200 innings the last 2 years. He's been horrible. He's been horrible for the Mets. He was horrible for the Cleveland Guardians last year. and now he's your starting pitcher. And you guys lost yesterday.
We
I
did.
don't know. It seems like
You don't get to play the lowly Marlins every day, unfortunately, who have beaten you.
Well, you don't get to play the lowly Brewers every day, which is maybe inflated your record.
We just beat the shit out of them.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, no, I just didn't know. Kind of going in. I mean, if I was a Mets fan, I'd be a little embarrassed if Carlos Carrasco was on the bump for me. Maybe it's different for your Yankees.
I mean, if I was a Mets fan, I'd just be embarrassed.
Oh, really? Would you? Yeah.
Walked right into that one.
No, but like Carlos Carrasco.
I don't love it. Obviously, I don't love.
Oh, of course
Carrasco
not.
being the
No,
first
he's
starter.
horrible. He's a horrible pitcher.
But I mean, who knows? You never know.
Yeah, you do. I think.
I don't think you. I
I mean, I
mean,
guess you don't know, but
you've said things like that and then have been wrong. You
it's true. It's true. It's true. Yeah, you're right. You don't know. I mean, no one knows anything. But
Starter. I mean, we got injured. But I mean, it's a tough. When he was Cole and the rain that used the 2 years ago Cy Young winner and then the AL Rookie of the Year in like a month.
I know.
It's brutal. It's
Not
brutal.
great. It's not good. It's not good.
Shout out to Zach Allen for 13 Ks.
I mean,
last
yeah.
night. He
Also,
was
last
money.
night, yeah. I mean, obviously, I'm a Gallon guy forever.
Of course.
Yeah. I mean, what are you gonna do? You think I had like an all-time pitching performance?
Great pitcher.
Tip your cap. God bless. He's a
course.
phenomenal pitcher. I hope he gets a disgusting amount of money, maybe from the Yankees.
I didn't like seeing Carlos Rodon get knocked around early. That was tough to watch, but I mean, it was all right.
He'll be all
What are
right.
you gonna do?
He'll be all
What are you gonna do? I mean, Carlos Carrasco. I mean, he'll turn around, right?
I don't think there's anything I want more than a jump from Carlos Carrasco.
The last time Carlos Carrasco.
I was gonna say Meek's tweet. It was like 8 shutout innings from Carlos Carrasco.
I know. That was a couple years ago.
the D-backs team that went to the World Series.
That's
2
right,
years
Meek.
ago.
That's right. Meek
Good
like,
team, great
Meek likes to
team.
troll
like-
anti-Yankee sentiment, I guess. I mean,
But like,
He can't help
he
himself.
can't help himself. He's just,
remember that Carlos
Because you've taken the
Carrasco.
Carlos Carrasco stance.
That
You can't-
Carlos Carrasco start from 2023 is like one of the most unpredictable starts.
bizarre.
Last year.
It's like I said, you never know. Well, it was 2 years ago, but yeah.
It's like textbook. You can't predict baseball. It's like, oh, Carlos Carrasco won 8 innings
You never know.
versus a
You
team
never-
that made the World Series.
That's true. You never know. But I do know one thing though. Carlos Carrasco has had nearly a 6, or I think had over a 6 ERA the last.
I've seen guys have a couple bad years and bounce back.
You did. I mean, he also didn't look very good in his relief outing last week for you guys. But that's okay.
Working out the kinks.
Yeah, a lot of kinks to work out.
Just working things out.
Kinky guy.
Actually, Carlos Carrasco did have a start versus the D-backs last year. 4 1/3 innings pitched, 4 earned runs,
Oof.
5 hits.
That's not ideal.
2 home runs allowed. That's actually the last start he's made in the majors.
Oh, good. Oh, good for him.
4 1/3, 4 runs. I've seen worse.
Well, yeah, I think we all have.
Seen worse.
We all, but we've also seen a lot better, and not what you want.
I suppose.
It's I think an 8 ERA. That's not good. That's all right. Hey, it's Yankee baseball, right? It's
Yo,
pride, tradition, pinstripes.
Yeah, I mean championships.
Go. Well, not for a
You
while.
could come
Not
sit
for
on
a
my
while.
lap and I'll tell you what it's like to win them.
It's not. It hasn't happened
Wouldn't
for a
know,
while.
but I could tell you about it.
Yeah.
I could tell you what it's like.
I think you have to sit on
I could share my experience with you.
my lap to remember a lot of these because you were too young to remember them.
Well, no, I mean
long
in
ago.
2009 I was
Yeah, it was one. That was a good one.
I was in high school.
You know, I meant before that though.
Yeah, I mean I was watching the games.
Yeah.
That was just ball over from day one.
That's good. No, I'm sure. No, I don't doubt that. No, the Yankees have had. I mean, it's been a rough decade and a half. But hey, you know what? Today's a new day.
Well, I mean it's been a rough decade and a half on Yankee standards, and the Mets standards. It's been like a all-time run. Made the World Series last year. The Mets would be like, this is amazing. I mean, we saw it last year. The Yankees literally had a better season than the Mets, and you would think that the Mets won the World Series. And the Yankees.
It is a little
game.
strange though. You guys couldn't only win one game to Dodgers. We won 2. But I'm just saying. I mean, it's a little strange.
Oh man, that's
all right, I'm
you wanna
just saying,
talk-
I know-
You want to talk loser talk? That is like the most loser.
We're both losers. We both lost to Dodgers. I'm just putting it out there. I'm putting the facts out there.
That is oof. Yikes. Because obviously that you're gonna be crying with fucking Meek over winning the wild card.
I didn't cry. I've been there.
I
I've been there before.
cried.
Meek cries. Meek cries a lot.
I appreciate that Meek cried.
Me too. My pick of the day though is the Diamondbacks first 5 innings. The reason I keep taking the first 5 against the Yankees, honestly, is because I respect your bullpen so much. But Diamondbacks first 5 minus 120 is my pick of the day.
Actually, only a few baseball games. I actually like some of the
Yeah,
baseball
it's
action.
only
Very
5
short
games
slate.
today.
I took the. I like some of the early games too. I like the Orioles early.
Me too.
With Charlie Morton.
Oh no, I'm sorry. No, like the Red Sox early.
I was on the Red Sox last night. That went well, but
Charlie Morton looked so washed that last.
I like
start.
I like the Orioles today. I also like the over. I'm taking the over as well because of that fear.
I don't hate that at all.
So I'm on 9.5. It was a plus 100 actually. I'm taking the Phillies run line today. I'm also taking
I don't mind that
I'm
at
also
all.
taking I'm also taking the over in that game.
Yeah.
That's really more my fear is. Like it's not my fear. That Taijuan Walker is bad.
Yeah,
Correct.
But
first start of the year.
the Rockies lineup is fucking atrocious.
So bad.
It's horrible. So I was like
3
I don't want to say I'm like hedging the bet, but it's like I think the Phillies could score a lot here. I'm hoping for like a
No.
like a 10-2 would be nice, like something like that. Like that's kind of what I'm handicapping, I guess, if you will. The Phillies are. This is not like they're just so much better.
Yeah.
They're at home. The Rockies are just an atrocious lineup.
With also a bad bullpen too.
I mean, bad pitching.
Is there anything good about the Rockies? Like we're just talking.
Other than Brett and Doyle, no.
Yeah, they're just
Ezekiel
bad.
Tovar?
There's a bad.
Doyle and Tovar is about it. Everything
Bad
else
baseball.
stinks.
Michael Toglia's
Interesting.
All right.
He has some power potential.
Mickey Moniak, revenge game possibly.
Ugh, he stinks.
He's on the Angels.
1-1.
The where are you at on the Astros? Where are you at on the Astros? You think they're? I know it's so early. They have looked bad.
So they
really
have,
early.
They have some. I mean, I think they're going to be good. I think they're going to have a decent season. I mean, they still have Framber. They still have Hunter Brown.
He wasn't great yesterday.
No, he wasn't.
But one star.
He wasn't. But he was really good to start before that. But you're right.
I'm not worried about Framber. I'm not worried
so
about
I mean,
him
I think
long
there's
term.
enough pieces there to be competitive, especially in a really weak American League. One thing is interesting though. Like yesterday, Jack Leiter shoved for the Rangers.
Yeah, phenomenal.
And if you're telling me,
back 1-0 wins.
yeah, I know.
I was on the Rangers both games actually.
If the Rangers if Vivaldi can keep this, obviously he's very good. We know that. Imagine if DeGrom stays healthy and then the Leiter can pitch, then the Rangers get nasty.
Oh man, you just said the words. Imagine if
I
DeGrom
know.
stays healthy.
It's a huge if, but I mean their season's kind of tied to him anyway, though. I mean if he blows his arm out on May 15th, they're done. I think.
Yeah. I know. It's just so funny. It's like
I know.
Imagine if DeGrom stays healthy. It's like how many years have we been
How
saying
many
that?
years did we say that? Right. So it's a huge if, but I think the American League though. I think the Astros can stay competitive.
I was gonna ask, give me like I think you kind of said a little bit with the Rangers, even though they were projected to be like pretty good this year. Give me like a team who you're buying in on like early. Obviously, we're 6, 7, 8 games in. Give me like a team you're buying in like early from what you've seen, small sample size, that you're like, I think this is legit, sustainable.
The Rays seem interesting to me. The Rays pitching staff is interesting. They're in that weird ballpark. They're just someone I'm not saying I'm like buying on them, but I'm keeping my eye on them.
Okay.
They intrigue me.
Giants have played good ball.
The Giants have been good. They're getting swallowed up by the Padres and Dodgers. Like,
Yeah, true.
I think they're the Giants like 5-1.
5-1.
And the Dodgers are 8-0.
The
Padres
entire
7-0.
NL West is I think 21-3 outside of the Rockies.
They just swept the Astros, right? They swept them.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and the Astros are good, in theory, or at least competitive. So it's like, all right, that's interesting to me. I still have my eyes on the Reds, even though they have been not great. I'm intrigued by that team still. The Screwball having 0-2 is not what I expected coming out of the gates, but I think he turns it around. So I'm not ready to sell on the Tigers yet.
Give me like the reverse, a team that has looked bad early that you think is like they're just bad.
Oh, they're actually bad?
A team that was thought of to have like potential this year that has looked bad early, you think is going to continue to be bad.
So early, but you got to look at the Braves a little bit, right? Like,
Yeah, of
that
course.
0-7 start. You got the Profar getting busted for PEDs. Chris Sale hasn't been Chris Sale. Like, this isn't a guy that's going to win the Triple Crown this year, probably. It's a hard thing to do anyway. But I mean, it's hard to see him being like an elite pitcher still. I don't know. The Braves team kind of stinky to me.
I saw it said that
It's so
a
early.
team that started 0-7 has never made the playoffs.
There has not been a team start 0-7 and have a winning record in 42 years.
Wow.
Is that true?
I don't know the exact team, but I've seen the stat be tossed around.
Really?
Yes, 42 years, almost as you were alive to see it, but not like coherent.
I know how old I am, Phil. Yes. The Braves. The Braves also are still a talent, though. I'm not like Strider's coming back. I'm not ready to like write them off entirely, but you can't start off. I mean, we saw it with the Mets last year, right? Like they were bad until May, and they took the rest of the year just to kind of get back to earth here. So it's tough.
They are currently minus 230 to make the playoffs on DraftKings. So that tells you what they think about the
About to start.
start. I mean, it's 7 games, and also
Wait, you said the Braves are still minus 230 making the playoffs?
Yeah.
Wow.
And also, it's easier
That might
to
be an interesting one to take the other side on.
It's
Honestly,
easier to
that's
make the
surprising.
playoffs now after a
Correct.
start than it was like for so many years.
But
Like
the
you have the
NL
extra playoff team.
The NL is tough, though. If you dig yourself in a big enough hole, you might not get out.
They do. In their heads, they're probably like, "Oh, we got Strider coming back
I
off
know.
injury, Acuna coming back off injury." But that's also a lot of pressure to put on 2 guys that didn't really play last year.
But two very good guys, and they come back. The Braves could easily rattle off, 12 or 13 stretch, of course.
Their rotation now is really starting to thin.
I know.
No Ronaldo Lopez.
Right. Ronaldo Lopez gets hurt. He sounds like it's like a devastating injury.
They're like, there's hope he could pitch again this year, which, I mean.
It's not great in April, early April. Oh, my God.
It's like they're going to, arthroscopic surgery, and then they won't know damage till, they're already in there.
I might put some money on the Braves to not make the playoffs.
Let me tell you the odds on that.
Yeah, what is that?
Plus 180.
Yeah, that's worth. I'm not saying but at plus 180, that might be worth taking. I don't know.
I wonder what that was preseason.
Oh my God. Oh.
I mean, if that's the case, they must have been. If they're 0-7, I mean, granted, it's such a long season.
I know.
I don't think the odds could have shifted that much.
They had to have been over. I mean, they got to be over 300 to make the playoffs. 350.
Do we know who they have next weekend?
Well, they have the Marlins and Phillies at home now.
Marlins next?
Yeah, I mean, well, that's also crazy. But they're 0-7, about to have their home opener. It's like, what's the fan reaction going to be on Friday?
I mean, last night was fucking brutal. Great for us.
They got Schwallenbach pitching too. Not like he's that good.
No, Schwallenbach's good.
He's okay.
He really turned it on in the second half last year.
That's fair.
And he is young, so maybe he takes a leap. I will say, of all the Braves pitchers, he's the one I think I like the most to perform this year. We were say Chris Sale's older, Strider off injuries. Schwallenbach, I think, is the one that's you see more positive things.
That's fair. That's a fair take, Phil. I don't mind that.
Their bullpen is also stinky. You know how demoralizing it must be for a relief pitcher to get pulled in the middle of a 2-0 at bat. It's like mid at bat pitching.
That was
change.
crazy.
I was
watching that in real time.
I was watching it. I was following it on GameCast, and I literally thought my phone froze. I was like, it's been 2 minutes. There hasn't been a pitch in the middle of the fucking at bat. I literally thought someone got hurt. I was like, what the fuck happened? And then they just put in a new guy who's pitching. I was like, what's going on?
It's like really diminishing a guy's confidence there. It's like,
unreal.
I trust you. Go get him. And 2 pitches, nope. Go to Rizal.
And that tells me Snicker might be kind of freaking out a little bit. And he's also saying he's going to retire at the end of the year.
That's the other part where the last time the Braves started at 0-7, they fired their manager 30 games later, Freddie Gonzalez.
That was the last time.
Yep. You think they could fire him mid-season? I guess they could.
I don't think they would. I think he's a world champion. I think they let him finish
maybe not fire, but he could also be like, yeah, I don't want to be here anymore.
He steps down mid-season. He's like, I'm done with this shit. I'm over it.
He's 70.
He's
70.
Life's short.
Yeah, who needs that?
I can save 6 months of team planes everywhere to just lose.
I think his son is still a coach with the Astros. I could be wrong. Ryan Snicker is 69 years old, turned 70 in October.
I'm on. I find that I'm on the Reds today. I know I'm high in the Reds here, maybe to my default here or my fault here, but Nestor Cortez is going for the Brewers, and if he pitches even half as bad as he did against you guys last week, I mean that could be a disaster. The Reds have some guys that can hit the ball at the park too.
Shows how good the Yankees pitching coaches are. Maybe they rubbed off on Carrasco. Leaves the Yankees, he can't get it out.
Can't get it out. He's just giving home run after home run. The Yankees do. I'll say this: the Yankees have a great bullpen still, and the Yankees have a very good pitching coach. So I'll give the Yankees their flowers there.
Yeah, Timo was tough the other day. Or was that last night? We got them all mixed together. But
yeah, no, it was the Mark Leiter. Yeah, that was 2 nights ago, right? Yeah, because Rodon, the Yankees bullpen did good yesterday. They were one guy went 3 innings.
That's true.
Yeah, I think Fernando Cruz is good for you guys too. Keep an eye on him. He's got some nasty stuff. I think he could be a real arm for you guys this year.
Yeah, no, I feel good about the bullpen. It's just we really need Luis Hill to get back, and it seems like it's gonna be a while.
I don't see him till July, right?
I know. Yeah, they're saying 3 months.
Well, look at Sean and I on our end. He got a setback, and now they don't see him until June.
Ugh.
At the earliest probably. So it's like Jesus Christ.
So we'll give some picks. Yeah, like I said, I'm on Baltimore. I'm on the over 9.5. I'm on Phillies run line, over 9.5. That's all I have so far in baseball.
I'm on the Red Sox money lines plus 102. I just don't believe in Charlie Morton. I'm on the Diamondbacks plus 102. I'm on the Reds plus 100 against Nestor Cortez. And my pick of the day is Diamondbacks first 5 innings minus 120.
I'm also gonna be on Chattanooga plus 4 tonight. NIT Championship. banners getting hung tonight, Clemmer.
Oh wow!
Now,
What a thrill.
now, respectfully,
Yeah.
it is Chattanooga and UC Irvine. So if you're going to fault one of them for hanging an NIT banner, I think shame on you, my friend.
I guess.
It's
Congratulations.
UC Irvine and Chattanooga.
Congratulations, winning a tournament no one wants to be a part of. Congratulations.
I think they do want clearly they want to be a part of it. They're in it.
Wow.
They could have said no.
I get, but they ideally they would not be. Ideally they would have been in a different tournament.
I guess, but I think you can't hold them to the same standard as like Villanova.
I don't know if being, I said, winning. It's almost like being
Chattanooga.
It's like
It's
being the
UC
best
Irvine.
AA team in baseball. I guess you hang a banner for that.
I don't.
It's not the same because baseball has 32 teams. College basketball has 300
teams.
I'm counting the minors. That's what I said. It's like being the best AA team in baseball.
It's not a fair
Yeah,
comparison.
but college is just so different. There's
I
way more
understand.
teams. That's why you would hang a banner for finishing in the top 16 of a year because there's so many teams. So it's more of an accomplishment.
I mean, the Mets will hang a Mets. I'm
Like, if
guessing
you finish
will unveil a banner for winning the wild card. So
That's insane.
it's not like a banner. No, so every other team but the Yankees does that. Which
Wild card is insane. Oh, I got you saying like one wild card, like
they have like a wild card
78,
thing, and those add a
84,
year
like,
to it.
yeah, I got you.
Like the Yankees are the only ones who really only World Series only.
pennants. Just
see,
And
pennants.
we have a flag.
But that's
pennants
what
and World
people-
Series.
Our
that's what people
flags
do
are
for the
only World
NIT.
Series. Our flags are the World Series only.
That's what people will do for the NIT.
Yeah, the NIT seems like so weak though. I don't know to me, but like you're right. These schools are so small.
I might argue that winning the NIT is more of an accomplishment than winning the wild card in baseball.
I would disagree with that because
I actually think there's a strong case for it.
all the best teams are choosing not to. Like if Duke doesn't even want to do the NIT.
It's definitely lost its lore.
The NIT? Yeah, since 1958 it has. You're right. Yeah, it has. It was a big deal then.
When there was 32 teams in the tournament, that shit legitimately meant something.
It was a time when NIT was the most important tournament in the country, right? Back in the day, like in the 50s.
But again, I remember we had this these two teams are better than like 30% of the field probably that was in the NCAA tournament.
Really?
Absolutely.
It's a shame they're not in it then. I understand.
I mean, it's the way the seed like they.
It's also just the power
like UC
conferences.
Irvine just lost like a close game to UC San Diego. They were both like two of the best mid-major teams.
Yeah.
UC Irvine, like they are way better than like every 16, every 15, every 14, every 13. They're like they would have been like a 12.
If you were a student at that school, would you be excited your team won the NIT? Fair.
I think so. I think you would be. It's a small it's not like
Frank was legitimately happy that Seton Hall won the NIT last year.
Okay.
The
in Seton Hall, obviously they play in the Big East, much bigger than UC Irvine.
The
or
NIT
Chattanooga.
Championship game last year was legitimately, if you know, you know.
Actually, it was an awesome
One
game.
of the best college basketball games of the year last year.
I'm sure.
It was because it was Seton Hall who
Indiana-
got screwed.
yeah, they did.
They had like the most big. It was the most Big East wins ever to get.
Oh, right. I remember that. Yeah,
To get, to get
yes.
removed from the
Right.
tournament,
Yep.
and it was against the best mid-major Indiana State, which
Who
would have
also
been-
kind of got screwed. Yeah.
which would have been like the UC Irvine, the UC San Diego this
Yeah.
year. So, and they like analytics loved them. They had like 2 losses.
I'm half busting balls here. I'm the guy that's going to watch Rockies Mariners in September. So I get it. I get why you guys watch. I get it.
But my point is, there are years where you got the NIT championship where it's like last year, and then it's this year where it's Chattanooga, UC Irvine, and I will not be tuning in.
You won't be watching? No. Okay.
I'll be watching just because I bet Chattanooga.
Yeah, right.
In the over. But,
No, last year was
you watching the
legitimately like intriguing storylines.
Yeah.
well, because they both got really fucked so badly,
Yeah.
and it was like almost every game you're watching, you're like, this team could have made both these teams could have made legit like runs, especially Seton Hall. Seton
like,
Hall legitimately
last year
could've-
felt like
Seton Hall could have potentially won like 2 games in the tournament.
Yeah, like
I think it's possible.
It was like it's like Seton Hall had it like fuck you, we're gonna show you why we should have been in the tournament, and then Indiana State was like we wanted to show you that we're not like just like every other mid major, like we deserve to be in the tournament just as much. So it set up for this beautiful like this great basketball game.
They also have it at they do it at Hinkle last year, right?
Yeah.
They do it where like Indiana plays. It's like this. It's just like
Butler.
or Butler. That's right. I'm sorry. In Indiana, just like this incredible like purist basketball like small gym. Like it just had such a like
Top 5 basketball arena.
it just like a real hoops lovers. Like it almost like some Hoosiers type shit. Like
Yeah.
small like where they're playing this like high level like 2 really good college basketball teams playing for this NIT title in this like tiny Indiana like barn box fucking
And it was
gym.
sick because last year was the first year I think they did it, and the Indiana State made it.
Yeah.
So it was
Yeah.
legit. Like it made for a very cool
That is cool.
atmosphere. Like usually, like when it was like at like MSG and it'd be Chattanooga versus UC Irvine, it'd be legit have like 250 people. But some years you'd get like. They just like I remember my first Dayton game ever was the NIT championship game against North Carolina, and MSG was sold out
Oh wow.
Yeah.
because it was like to Dayton it was like wow we're playing the reigning national champions.
Yeah.
And North Carolina was like, "What are we doing here?"
Yeah.
And we,
See, now with NIL, yeah,
like, and that was, I was like, "Wow, this shit is sick."
Yeah. Do you you been watching The Crown at all, Dukes?
I have been, but it's so weird with everyone sitting out.
Yeah, I watched some of it. I'll talk to you about it some after. It's unfortunate you can't bet on it. They had this weird thing with like there's like prize money. It's like a weird. It was like regulated. Like there were lines everywhere, and then like everywhere took the lines down. Kind of like a bizarre like. It was weird the way it kind of all happened.
Yeah. I saw that.
Because I got to bet it on Nova before like to win win the entire tournament, but then they took like every line off, so it still is like active. So if
Did they win last night?
They played at night. They won though. They're plus 700 to win the crown. And
It would be so funny if they won.
they play they play USC tonight.
It would be so funny if they won, man.
I could see it. All their guys are playing. Like Dixon, Pupler, like all their main guys are playing. They blew out Colorado in the first game, and they had a good showing in the Big 12 tournament.
Tomorrow is a big day for Meek and I. Meek and I are going to be at Citi Field for the home opener. We're going to do some man in the street stuff. If you see us in the parking lot, you see us kind of at the stadium, come say hi for sure. I know Meek's excited. I'm excited.
I'm excited to have opening day.
I'm amped up, man. Like legit.
What was the first Mets opening day you ever went to?
The first Mets opening day I went to wasn't until I was an adult because my parents weren't huge sports fans, and then we moved to New England when I was 9. I didn't go to an opening day of any sport until like I was in my 20s. How about you?
My first, 2010.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You were 12?
Yeah, I
First
was.
When you were 12 years old?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Well, your mom's a big
Jesus
fan.
Meek
Christ,
freaks.
bonk.
Meek freaks.
Your first was when you were 12?
Oh, that was my first opening
Most
day,
people
yeah.
wait till like they're 18, 16.
I see.
Some people are later in life.
He's trying to be funny there, Meek. Don't let.
That was a good play on words.
It took Clubber a minute to even get what you were doing.
I was like, oh, 12. Good for me. I know his mom's a big Mets fan. That's exciting. Gets to go to the game.
And you were by yourself the entire way through? All by myself. Had it all to myself.
He's like, what, you're with your mom?
Oh no, you guys are being goofy. We don't need none of that nonsense.
Never been to opening day.
No,
Not baseball.
I went to Yankees opening day last year
Never been to
and
opening
Mets
day
opening day.
baseball.
Last year. It's fun. I went with Hubs and Marty last year. We had a good time.
I've been to opening day. I actually went to the first game, I think, at Citi Field.
Oh, you
Really?
saw-
Oh, shit.
Johan Santana pitched.
No, Mike Pelfrey, I think.
That's right. It was Pelfrey. He got the home
So
run.
I went to Johan Santana's first start then.
Okay.
At Citi Field.
Was Johan injured? Why did he not start?
I think they started the year
He
in the
started the year
road.
in Cincinnati.
Kind of like this, you know.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
I think Oliver Perez got the first win at Citi Field, I think.
I think you're right. Who hit the home run? Was it Jody
Garrett.
Oh,
David Wright has
first
the first
batter.
Mets home
First
run.
batter for the Padres hits a home run. Like the very first guy. It's like, are you fucking kidding me right now?
Sounds like the Mets.
All right. Carlos Carrasco, buddy. Enjoy.
We're just fine.
Be
Got
fun.
a record right now.
One
right?
more-
It's just another
What are you
loss.
guys, 2 and
Just another
3?
loss. We're 3-3. Just another loss for you
All right,
guys.
we're tied.
What do you guys think the odds on DraftKings are of the Dodgers winning 100-plus games?
Oh,
I won't cheat because we talked about this yesterday.
I
was around when you
I'll tell you this:
discussed
if the odds went like down, it's more likely now.
All right, fine.
Well,
I'm
yeah,
going to
they
go
won.
plus 105.
I'm gonna say minus 210.
Minus 370.
Oh my
Win
god.
100 games.
Preposterous
That's
line.
crazy.
To win 100 games. Granted they're 8-0, but I don't give a
That
fuck.
is
They were
crazy.
they were minus 300 yesterday with 7-0.
The
That is
odds on them
nuts.
having the best record in baseball, minus 500.
Oh my god.
It is crazy that's the case, and we are sitting here sweating our nuts off race to 10. They had a 2-leg
The
start.
Padres never lose.
The Padres don't fucking lose.
Padres don't lose.
We just need we need the Dodgers go. We literally, if the Dodgers don't win 2 out of 3 in Philly, like we're in trouble.
Padres playing the Cubs though.
No, they
Well,
both
like, who
they both
decent,
have tough,
they're fine.
They both have tough
In
road
Chicago,
matchups.
right?
Both have tough
Yeah,
road matchups
so-
this weekend.
So-
They're both off today.
Some other funny lines I see. The Rockies are plus 110 to win 60-plus games, and the White Sox are plus 140 to win 60-plus.
Careful with those White Sox. That team stinks.
Scrappy.
They stink.
Weirdly, it's hitting some dingers.
White Sox still
We had
minus
a little bit, I
130 have the
guess.
worst record.
They stink. That Marlins pick, I kind of like it more after yesterday. Did you jump on that with us? Was it me, Marty, and Hubs? We all jumped on the Marlins to have the worst record in baseball.
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
What is it? What's the line?
it was.
They're currently plus 500.
They're plus 500 right now.
Yes.
Let me see what they are when we took them.
The Rockies.
It was plus 600 when I grabbed it. So there you go.
Rockies are so bad.
Rockies are bad. Marlins are bad.
That was like
White Sox are bad.
I almost don't want to because that would go against last year. Rico did that with the Marlins. And he was like just like celebrating losses in like April. We're like, God, this is like.
You didn't realize the White Sox are the worst team ever.
Yeah.
I was like, and you got to realize these also teams that are already bad. They're going to sell everybody.
Everyone.
They're like, not that, I mean, the Marlins.
Yeah.
Marlins
I think we're going to sell Contreras, which could help that bet.
He's the only guy
that's
that can
true.
sell.
Yeah, they don't even have anything anymore.
Oh, that lineup is so bad.
Because I saw people making jokes like, I don't think the average sports fan can name a single player on their team.
There were like
Other
four.
than Contreras, absolutely not.
Dude, there were 4 guys in that lineup I never heard of before this season.
No, it's
and I'm like
yes.
I know everybody.
No,
I mean, I looked at opening day. I was
same boat.
I was unaware of probably half the lineup.
the lineup is a bunch of like literal nobodies.
Like I don't know who Eric Wagaman is.
I never heard him. He's their
Edwards.
DH.
Liam Hicks.
Like Xavier Edwards, I had heard of.
Xavier Edwards, Jonah Bride.
Yeah, Bride, I had heard of.
I don't know who
I was
Javier.
getting slim after that. There was a couple guys I knew, but it's tough.
It's tough. That's a
They're bad, really bad. Bro, we'll wrap up on trash on the Marlins. I was gonna be here tomorrow. We'll do a call show tomorrow. We'll obviously talk big Final Four, talk a bunch of calls, any NFL draft stuff. I'll be ready. Any baseball, NBA. Appreciate everyone watching. Like the stream.
Come say hi to Meek and I if you see us tomorrow.
Yeah, go see Meek. If you're going to Mets opening day, go see Meek Clemmer. We'll see you tomorrow. God bless. Enjoy.